Let's talk about real pasta. We need eggs. So this is a dozen of eggs. We have flour from soft wheat, farina tipo double zero. We call it double zero in Italy. A little salt, normal salt, and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Of course, we need some tools, some instruments. Right now we have a sifter for the flour, like something like this. We have the rolling pin that we already saw before. We need a spatula like this, and eventually another spatula for for the flour. We have extra flour and extra virgin for playing with the dough and to make the fresh pasta by hand. So this is a traditional old-style pasta that our grandmas used to make in Italy, and there are some people still making that at home. Although it takes a little time, you need a little space, a counter, some little patience, and of course you need to have a kind of skills for this. And we try to make that so you can see what's going on. Actually what was going on also some centuries ago when the pasta was invented. It seems like the Romans, they created a kind of lasagna, they call it de lasagnas, which was something different. It was not with the eggs, it was made by flour and water. Just basically they boil this stuff in the hot water like polenta. Okay, let's start making pasta. Okay, let's see what's going on. So first of all, we need to create a kind of volcano using the flour like this. And the sifter, like this. So this way we clean eventually every kind of lumps. Okay. We make a kind of mountain. We put salt on top, a couple of pinches, like this. Then we dig a kind of crater in a little volcano. I'm from Umbria. In Umbria we have a big lake. It's called Bolsena. And it's a beautiful lake. It's a volcanic lake. It's the largest of Europe. And we have a lot of pretty good products there, especially vegetables, oil, I would say also eggs. Okay, right now we have a dozen of eggs and 2.2 pounds of flour. You can use any kind of eggs. If you can get some a little more, let's say, colorful, you have like a more yellow pasta, but they're pretty good. I can see that. If you have, some ideas to cut down the cholesterol, which is contained into the egg yolks, you can use a little more of egg whites instead of the whole eggs. Okay, what am I doing now? Oh, I need this. Simply a fork. We break the egg yolks like this. We start mixing, I would say vigorously, this way, like a machine. And we start to incorporate a little flour step by step in this way. Okay. If you have some relatives and sisters, or your grandma, your grandgrandma, I'm sure you heard about this kind of pasta. This is the stretch pasta, because basically we stretch, after we make the dough, we stretch the pasta with a rolling pin. Okay, like this. If you want, you can pour a little bit oil, like this, to give an extra flavor. You can make pasta adding more stuff, like if you want to make a truffle pasta, you can add some truffles. You want to make hot pepper, you put hot pepper flakes. Or a classic one is spinach. So basically you can cook some spinach, you can pass in a food meal, you incorporate in this. Of course you have to consider that the spinach brings more humidity, more water into the this system. So you have to cut down a little the eggs. You can put dehydrated tomatoes, that's good. Black pepper. Some people make pasta with the red wine. Basically, you can do what you want. It's like making gelato. You can use everything. Okay, now we have this spatula. If you have a Mason skillet, it's good because it can be faster. I know it's easy to go to buy pasta, but it's more, can I say, romantic? Gives more satisfaction, and you taste the difference. Because the pasta we're going to make is going to be pretty rough. You can absorb more sauces. Simply different and better. Okay. Okay, at this point we can start working using the hands like this. Sometimes you think you over knead the pasta, but it never happens. It's usually pretty good. The more you play with, the more you knead it, the better it comes. Okay. Some people say that you have to work, the dough until you see some bubbles on the surface. Some other ladies from the countryside say you have to pop it in with a finger and see how much time comes back. Right now we are close. There's another trick you can do. For example, if you want to keep on kneading the pasta without adding any flour, it's just pouring some oil over here. So in this way it gets a little easy, like this. Okay. You can keep on kneading the pasta for 10 minutes if you like. In this way you don't go to the gym. Basically you roll like this, then you turn, then you stretch a little, and you roll inside again, like a snail. So you roll, turn, and stretch. Okay. Looks pretty nice. Okay, we got the pasta dough right here. We put some flour here. We give a little rest, about 10 minutes. Or if you want, you can put it in the refrigerator for like 15 minutes covered with a plastic foil, like a plastic film or like a cloth. So in this way, we give a little time to the dough to get relaxed and the gluten working with the pasta itself. So it's easier to work with our guy rolling pin. It's a nice pasta, huh? It's pretty good. 15 minutes in the refrigerator. See, it's really elastic. And now we're going to cut in 2 pieces right now. Because I was thinking to make pasta also with a crank machine so you guys can see the difference. So this one is going to be stretched by hand, and this one is going to be killed with a crank machine. Okay. Now we need more flour over here. The first thing to do is just pressing like you do when you make pizza. You can ask a question. Can you make pizza with this dough? No, absolutely not. Pizza needs yeast, no eggs, but the same flour. A little more oil. And you should be from Naples at least, or Sicily, depends. Okay, rolling pin. Okay, first of all, you press like this. If you want to put your hand here, you can press in this way, up and down. Then you turn like this, and you repeat the same action, like this, stretching and pressing. Now it looks like an airship, dirigible Zeppelin. Does it make any sound? Familiar? This is a pizza size. Okay, now we start rolling the pasta. Roll the pasta on the rolling pin like this, and we stretch like this. Okay, we stretch and roll like this. Then we unroll on the surface. See how long it is, and we do the same. There is another action too, which is using your thumb like in the printer to roll the pasta. And again, we roll the pasta on this. We can stretch also in this way, and this opposite way, with a light pressure of your hands, and stretching this way too. Like this. Okay. You can also make the pasta making a noise or a sound, which is this. Let me try again. It's good. And keep on pressing. Now your hands, like you can see, I'm using my fingers to print on the pasta. Okay, let's see what's going on. Ooh, it's coming pretty good. One suggestion, try to give a regular shape all the time. Okay. You can use any kind of surface, but the best one is like a wooden counter. Although the stainless steel is good. Granite is good. Some people like the pasta really thin, some people like the pasta medium, but you have to consider this pasta is going to get like double size when you boil it. Okay, this is done. We just fix the borders like this, and we just put some more flour on top in this way. In this way you can also extra stretch the pasta, see? Like a swimmer, like this. Okay. And this is ready. Now we give it a rest of, let's say, 10 minutes, so it gets a little dry, and ready to be cut in different shapes. Today we make 4 different kind of pasta: tagliolini, tagliatelle, fettuccine, and pappardelle. Don't pronounce the pappardelle because it's wrong, okay? I'll see you in 10 minutes. Here we are, we have the pasta, which is a little dry after 10-15 minutes. We just put more flour on top like this, like a little nice massage. And now we roll, we fold like this. 1 and 2, a little more flour. 3, like that. Looks like the highway going to Rome. Okay. At this point, we just put more and more. We do the final folding like this. Okay, like a scarf. We push it all over here. Okay. Just a little fast cleaning. We need our friend a good cutting board with a good knife, something like this. Now we cut the pasta. More flour. We take that like a, what do you call it, boa, the snake. We cut the beginning like this. We get rid of this. And we start with the first kind of pasta. We call them tagliolini. Some people call it capellini. But the capellini or angel hair is the pasta, the dry one. So tagliolini is exactly this. You cut pretty thin, the thinnest you can actually. a good knife, and this is basically a portion, like this. See? It's not bad. And we can put right here. We can call it size like small. Then we have tagliatelle. It's basically double as big than tagliolini. Like this. And you can take the pasta like this. Actually, you can put on a tray in this way, or you can also roll in a kind of a ribbon like this, or you make like a nest like this. The third is the medium size. Then we have fettuccine, just a little more bigger, wider, like this. This is the fettuccine, like this. This is a pretty L. Now we go with the XL, the famous pappardelle you taste in Umbria with a wild boar, with lamb, ragu, wild rabbit, venison. It's not bad, huh? We usually cut them in half, otherwise they're too big. And you don't make a nest with this. You just simply put on a table like this. And this is the XL size of the pasta. Now, this is also the pasta you can use for lasagna. So when you make lasagna, you simply cut in rectangles like this. So this is the size for lasagna. And you can also use this for cannelloni, or maybe you call it manicotti. So every time you make lasagna, you have to put in a hot water, boiling with some salt. So you basically pre-cook it. And when it's like halfway, you drain it, and you use for your lasagna. For the cannelloni or stuffed pasta, you do the same action, and you put your filling right here, and then you roll in this way. So you have the cannelloni, which is another rural traditional stuff. We can pretend just we are here. I'm doing some magic action. This is ricotta and spinach filling. Look at that. And just put it here so you can see basically you roll in this way. And this is cannelloni. You can fill it up with meat. You can fill it up with any kind of cheese or vegetable. It's up to you. The traditional one is with meat and tomato, or spinach and ricotta. Of course, you put it on a sheet pan like this, we are pretending, of course. A sheet pan with some bechamel on the bottom and tomato sauce on top, a lot of cheese, and you put it in the oven. It's fantastic. Another thing you can do if you love soups is making quadrucci. So you cut like this or this size, like tagliatelle or fettuccine. This is for New Year's Eve, for example, in my town, Orvieto. You cut in this way, and then you turn in this other way, more flour, and you cut in little, tiny, nice squares that we call quadrucci. Quadruccio means something little and square, like this. If you want to give a dramatic effect, like you were really angry while you were doing this, you can put more flour and squeeze it like this. You squeeze it, and you have this irregular pasta, and some people call it pasta grattata, like grated pasta, because you can also use this pasta when it's pretty hard, grated on a grater. But you can also make in this way, which is faster, and I think it's pretty nice. I wonder where is my new pasta machine. It's not bad at all. Originally Italian. This is the miracle for pretty good pasta you make by hand or hand machine. Basically, you have to use this handle. You stick it in, and you rotate, the machine like this. You put the dough inside, But first of all, we have to attach to the table right this, using the special part right here. Don't ever wash the machine after you use that. Just a little brush, you know, a little kiss, and just you put it back in the storeroom. Okay. This is pretty good. So we have the handle, the crank. It works. Hopefully. Yes. Now we cut the pasta in small pieces, like, okay, this is a size of maybe a muffin. Can I say that? Put more flour. And we regulate as the largest space between the two cylinders we have here. And now we simply do this action. We have the first step of the pasta, like this. And we do it again. Okay. Now we just go to a thinner position. Let's see what's going on. Look at that. Always, you know, pretty abundance of flour, like snow in wintertime. You roll it again. You change the number, a little thinner, something like this. You can also sing if you want when you do this. Of course, Italian songs. Change the number again. It's getting pretty thin. It was my job when I was a child, and my nanny used to make pasta, and I was the guy doing this, the crank machine. That's how I grew up, like this. You don't know about my body weight, I don't tell you. Okay, this is one. I think we make a little thinner, more thinner, like this. Okay. Okay. Comes pretty nice. It's rustic and smooth at the same time. And it captures all the sauce you want. It's also good for making ravioli because it's regular. In a regular shape like this, it's perfect. So we have the pasta. Look at this. Okay. You pour more flour on top, like this. And now, of course, we give a little rest. Now we spread more flour on this dough, like this, pretty nice. Actually, we cut in half, which is the length of the pasta. And using this attachment, this is the one for tagliatelle. They're, you know, pretty nice. We attach the machine over here, and we use the little crank, the other handle we have. Pretty nice. Okay, we pick up the pasta. We want to be sure that we have flour all over the pasta. So it's, in this way, it's less risky that it gets sticky. And look at this. It's not bad at all, huh? Hopla. Here we go. We have this beautiful tagliatelle over here. We make a nest. And now we need to try something different. Tagliolini. We use a different attachment, which is specific of this. It's like a squared spaghetti. We also call it spaghetti alla chitarra, because in Italy we have another machine, like a traditional countryside machine, and it looks like a little guitar made with a wooden frame and some strings, you know, like the Emperor Nero, you know, he used to play blang, the lira, burning down the city with no insurance. Okay, And we just put it here and try slowly like this. Okay. And we have this thin pasta like spaghetti, but the real characteristic is the section is squared, it's not round like spaghetti. And of course, this is the fresh pasta. More flour over here. And you have this beautiful, tagliolini or spaghetti alla chitarra. Talking about the difference of sauces, in the traditional Italian cuisine, we usually add heavy sauces to big pasta and light sauces to thin pasta. Like this one is pretty good with tomato sauce, tomato and basil, simply like that, or pesto. This is good with a ragu bolognese, or like sausages and asparagus, or you have something like mushrooms, like porcini mushrooms. It's called norcina. If you have some truffles, you can make tagliolini al tartufo, using a little of truffle, black truffle, white truffle, some butter, some shallots, white wine, a little bit of that. So, basically, there's a big border here for light sauces and heavy sauces. And if you can, if you have the age, a little drink, like a little red wine from Umbria, of course.